Hey campers, George here, back in the man cave. Looking at some thingies. These two to be exact, yep. Two better fishermen. They need some love, and I got some vinyl. Let's check it out. So we've got these two guys. Yep, fishermen. They're pretty beat up. One came in a mail call, and the other I found in a box at a local swap meet. Both of them are in pretty bad condition. I thought this is a perfect time. Clean them up and do some handle work. I haven't put any vinyl on in a while, and I actually ordered some vinyl with some different colors. And it's the thicker vinyl which I prefer. This guy here, and you can see, he's a little rusty. Two blade tool fisherman. The cover is gone. It's the first time I've seen a hole in the handle like this on these clamshells. Not quite sure what they're for. And this guy, and you can see the blade is in good condition. It just needs a good cleaning and a sharpen. Really nice long, and the tool as well. I mean, they're dirty. They need to be cleaned. Got rust around here, which is typical. Actually, a hammer brand, and you can see it right there. Okay, kind of hard to see. Here it is here, and that tells me he's an old guy. 45 to 55, 1945 to 1955. And of course it's a hammer brand. It's solid. Now, we all know hammer brand was considered a budget knife, to say the least. I think they sold for like $2. I got to tell you, for a budget knife, they're pretty well made. This guy has one little problem, and if you look here, you see there. And if I push down, you see it pops back up. Now I'm hoping it's just full of goop, fish guts and things like that we need to scrape out, and it'll drop down. Otherwise we're going to have to figure out how to fix that. Everything else, the tool sits nice and deep, and of course your blade, it should be right there. Right now it's like that. We'll take those off, clean everything up, and then we'll put some vinyl on. And this time, hopefully, no bubbles. Now this guy, you can see him here, and right away, there you go, the dreaded snail. Now, that's what I thought it was. This one, a little beat up. In fact, it even looks like it's melted, and of course on the other side it has that fish symbol. Now, I did get a comment on that, on what this is, which I thought was interesting. So it's actually an advertising knife, a giveaway, or some store was sponsoring it. And this is, it's an Imperial. You can see him there. Here's the info here, and as you can see, he is a little bit younger. He is I believe, a 56 to 88. So the last period that Imperial was around before they got bought by Schrade. A wider range here, but certainly a lot younger than his cousin here. Hammer brand, which was bought by Imperial, which got bought by Schrade. So you got these two little beasties. Let's get them stripped down, see if we need to dip them. If not, we'll get right on, clean them up, get the shells off. So here you can see the two little beasties. Let's get the clamshells off, and we'll know a little bit more about them. Now, as you know, with the clamshell, you can only take them off from one side. And you can't do it from that side because there's no access to the clip. However, on the big side here, you can see there's access to the clip. Heat them up, makes them a little bit more flexible and less chance of breaking the tabs off. So let me do that. Typically, I can get them off with these two tools. If I'm lucky, I can get it off with my little ice spike here. Probably the tool I use the most in any project. And I've got this little small flat screwdriver, which for some reason actually matches the width of where you need to get into. Ugh, this thing's got a lot of... Now I'm concerned about that. Okay, yeah, the clip is broken off. And remember I said I didn't know what these holes were for? Well, they clips. And I'll show you that right now because I can get this guy off. See there? So basically you got to push this clip down, put it on, and pull that clip around, and it holds the middle piece on. It's actually a pretty cool idea. I think it keeps these flat against the liners a lot better. Pretty icky in here. There's a lot of things growing, I think. And if we look, I think it was glued. Can you see there? I think this was glued when they broke the clip off there for some reason. Anyway, we want to get this clip off without breaking it. Just let it warm up somewhat. Okay, we've got some heat on that, it's warmed up. So I'm just going to try and grab that clip there. As you can see, it's pretty icky, it's full of something. Don't know what was growing on there. But you can see, I managed to get the clip. Now, I'm not a big fan of burying it up too much. I find if I get it that far, I can just help it off without opening it anymore, just like that. Now normally, and we'll probably see this on this one, that's enough to slide it off. But these guys have that clip. The only way I could figure out to do that is to force it open on the clip, which I'm not a big fan of. Just like that, and then slide it out. You can see the clip in there. Turn some light on the subject. How about that? Pretty nasty, this guy. He is an old guy, so he's been well used. They obviously glued it together when it came off because there's glue on here. And otherwise, other than that, it looks okay. But I'm thinking it's going to need a good dip. So we're going to be dipping this guy at least. Same thing again, going to heat him up. Okay. Yeah, he's a little warm. Same thing again. I'm going to lift the clip. These are actually pretty strong for a change. There you go. Has this got the clip as well? It may just. There we go. You can see. Now it's talking about that one at the end there. Get some light here. See how small it is. Don't touch it. Don't bend it. Don't anything. And you can just put it right back on. It's still pretty strong. It's just a mess. See that? So yeah, they are here. And interestingly enough, look at that. This guy actually had extra holes in the liners. Interesting. That means they were doing something else with this as well. I think we're going to have to dip these, as you can see, pretty bad. I like this stuff. You can get it anywhere. I believe I got this at Harbor Freight, but I know Walmart has it, and you can probably get it on Amazon. I'm not sure. I'll put some links so that at least you have the name and how to search it, and you can find the best price. I'll do that for you. YouTube puts products down as well. It's a good starting point. At least you know what you're looking for. When you search, you can search better knowing the actual name. Just going to throw all these in. And we'll put them in here. Let them soak for about 15-20 minutes. Then I normally give them a rub and then soak them again for another 5 minutes. Then wash them in warm water, bring them down and work on them. It's been about an hour. I'm going to pull them out. I'm going to use Scotch-Brite and just give them a quick rub to get any stuff that is loose, the big stuff. Try and get it freed up somewhat. Just want to get the chunks off so it can work a little bit more. You can see how it tends to patina the blades. That's okay. You can either leave them like that but then you're not going to get the rust off. So to be honest, you clean up a knife like this, make it all shiny. It's eventually, because it's carbon steel, going to patina over time anyway. But you know what? It's always nice to start with a nice clean knife. Vinyl on. I'm going to let them sit a little bit longer, then I'll wash them off. So here we are now with our two little beasties. This one is obviously the Hammer brand, and this is the Imperial. Interesting to see the difference in how they look after they've been dipped. Thought that was interesting. This is the older guy, but yet it looks a lot better than that guy. Probably just use or care. Anyway, what we need to do now is we've got to clean up the knives, and we've got to clean these really well, because when we put the vinyl on, it has to be really clean so that we got a good connection. It will stick nicely, nothing will pop up, and hopefully no bubbles. So the smoother the better. Put the knives aside, let's get the covers done. We'll get them all prepped and peachy, we'll cover them, then we'll clean these little beauties. Now I'm going to try and get as much as this glue off here. I'm pretty sure it'll stick to it, but I'm going to be overlapping them in here on either side, and I'm pretty sure it'll stick to itself. But I want to get all the loose stuff that I can off. I'm just using a dentist pick. I'm just going over the whole top side here with 400. It's an initial clean, and I want to make sure that this has all the nasties off as much as we can. We'll be cleaning it with alcohol, and hopefully it'll be good enough, but I'll need to make sure it is clean. And I'm just going to go over the whole thing. Do that for all of them. Then I'll go over with some finer stuff here and here on all of them, and we just want to make sure it's clean, so when we put the vinyl on, it'll stick and hopefully no bubbles. She's out of the cage. Pretty laid back right now, sitting on the boss's chair, doing her makeup apparently. It's what I deal with every day. I'm going over the main parts that are going to be showing with 2000 grit, because I want to get it a little bit shinier than the rest, because I don't want to be rubbing up against the vinyl when it's just been put on. So I just want to clean up these outer edges that will be showing. Like that. Don't forget not to press these things in, or that. Well, that one you need to, because you're going to have to push that back in to clip it on. But you don't want to be pushing down on these, remember that. Been there, done that. So there we are, they've all been polished on the edges. Can't decide whether I want to go further than that on the edges. But really, I can be really careful with the 10,000, and then with mothers. We'll be doing these before we put the handles on anyway. Time to clean these up. Alcohol, get all the sanding dust off it, make sure it's nice and clean. Then we're going to select a color. Morning campers. So I cleaned up the handles and everything, and I was looking at it, I was like, well, if I put the vinyl on, it covers this hole, right? How do I get that clip to work? I can't push it in underneath and make it tight. So here's the problem. If I don't put the vinyl on and put it on the knife, I can't get the vinyl underneath. If I put the vinyl on, I can't adjust this. And it was a real dilemma for me. So you know what I did? It's a fisherman, right? I went fishing to think about it. Here's what happened. That's what I'm talking about. Look at that guy. Is that not a thing of beauty? Slimy as ever. Carp. Ha! First cast on my favorite fly. Thin mint. 8. So I caught some fish and figured out how this works. If you look at the clip, can you see the way it's bent? You've got the clip here, the clip here, the clip here. So what you have to do is lay it down. You would lay it off the edge there because you've got to slide that clip in, line that up in the hole and slide it that way. Because the way they bent the clip, see that? It's bent like that. This lines up with the hole, and when you push it in, it slides, and it's at an angle, and it'll tighten down. So that's what we're gonna do. Pretty cool fish, by the way. Did that in about an hour. We can put the vinyl on. Now the problem was, here's the colors I got. You've got like a yellow, a light green, a blue, dark green, and like a darker, almost orange. Interestingly enough, they call that corn. I think I'm gonna go, I want to use the green. I like this dark green. I've never used it before. And the yellow is, I think, what I'm going with. Okay, I got my 4 pieces here. The vinyl I'm using is from Cricket. You need to get the permanent. Now you can get glossy or brilliant or whatever you want. And this was a sample pack of 6 12 by 12s. You want the premium. And the way to tell the premium, if you look at some of them, they don't have these little squares on the back here, the pattern. They're going to be thinner, a little bit thinner. They work fine, but they're almost see-through. I'm not a big fan. I want something heavier. I'll put a list in the description. So I'm going to put this one on first. When I did it last time, I was complaining because I always get bubbles. and I didn't know how to stop that, and I got a lot of comments on that, so I'm going to try some of those things. What I was doing was putting it on, bending it over, and trying to get the bubbles out. They say put it on, work the bubbles over, then bend it around. We're going to try that. And this is going to go on there. If you're wondering about my cooking utensils, this here is actually a clay modeling tool, and it's rubber. You see that? I use this when I need to press it around the corners like this. It helps get it in there. That's what this is good for. This is also rubber. Got it at the dollar store, $1.25, and I'm hoping I can use it to move the bubbles out. Oh, and they said peel the vinyl as you go. Like that. And now they say you work it. So I've got it on there, and so far no bubbles. Well, maybe two little ones, but I think that is dense in the steel, and I'll show you what I mean. So there we are here. Let this one cool down and do the other side, and then we'll trim it all up. Okay, I'm going to let those sit for a while, and we'll trim them down to size. Let's clean up these guys. 1000 grit, 2000, 10,000 mothers on everything. Elbow grease again. I just want to... It's 1000. I'll do the other one, and then we'll go to 10. I'm gonna clean this guy up. It's pretty bad. This guy is pretty bad. There's a lot of what? Huh. That's why the blade didn't close properly. I think I'm going to dip it, and while we let him sit in the dip, we'll work on the covers. Oh, it's a lot better than I did last time. Wow. Okay, I kind of like that. I like this look. I like this. It's yellow, whatever they call it. And I can see how those clips work. Pretty cool. So these ones are going to be a little bit trickier because we got to get the snail out of here, or whatever it is. Oh, by the way, like I said, it's not a snail. It's actually some sort of beaker that the company uses that they were advertising for. Anyway, I've got to cut that out. You'll notice that you see that dent in there? Dent in the handle. First thing I'm going to do is just cut over the top of this thing. Yeah, I missed. But it'll work, I think. I missed that corner edge there. But close enough. You get the idea. I missed it again. The bottom. Don't know if you can see there. Gonna have to figure that out. Gotta be a better way of doing that. You do the edges. There. So we've got the handles done. Let's clean up that other knife. So giving it a dip certainly cleaned it up. So now we're gonna do the whole 2000. There was a lot of rust in this thing. So I'm just going to go over it right now with some 1000. And then we'll do the 2000, the 10,000 on both and mothers. Oh, that's what I want to. I need to fix that first. See the tip here? Yeah, it's kind of beat up. Shape it. I want to flatten it out and reshape it quickly. Yeah, this table. It's killing me. Better. Gonna try and get rid of as much as this as possible in the front here. It's really ugly. Here we go. While I was cleaning it, I noticed on this hammer we got wobble. So I'm just going to tap on these real quick and hopefully that'll fix it. Okay, so we got the hammer and the Imperial. Let's put the handles on. So we got to get these just right to get them back on without taking away the tension. I forgot to record it. I put that side in first and then used this just to pull that tab over and it dropped right in. Now we got to get that on nice and tight. The way I do this is I use my favorite tool again, this guy. It's tapered, so I can start off by pushing it in, and then to tighten it up I can push it with the taper and get that nice and tight like that. And you want to make sure that that tab isn't sticking out, because it will get in the way of whatever's in here. Okay, it cleared it nicely. And do the other side, which needs to be glued. So I'm going to mix glue and whatnot now, and then okay. And we'll let it sit for an hour or 3. There we go. Kind of like this green. Could have done better on those. Let's polish them up and sharpen them up. Good old mothers. Ew. Still works though. I found these cloths, I'm a budget guy, at the local dollar store. And we're just gonna rub dub. I'm going really lightly over here. I don't know what it's going to do to the vinyl, and the vinyl really hasn't been sitting long enough. Just needs to be sharpened. We'll do that when the other one's done. We've got to let that thing set. I want it to at least sit for an hour or so. The boss came by and said, She wants me to clean up some of her knives from her collection. I just do as I'm told. Okay, let's have a look at this guy, see if it's holding together. I hope. Well, we didn't get any glue on that. That's a little tight, but it was before. Huh, look at that. So there you are. Now we need to just polish this guy up, and then we can sharpen the blades. I really like this. Nice color. If you like me, leave things lying around, drop them all the time, can't find them, it'll find you. So let's polish it up. Does a good job. I can't say enough about mothers. This is the Imperial knife that I had to fix the tip. So it's going to take a little bit of work. I'm going to mark it up here so I can see when I get an even grind along the bottom here. Once I get that, then I stop. So now I'm going to go to 800. And I've got that edge I'm looking for. I don't know if I can show you that. Yeah, it'll be, I can't get in that close. But there's an, can you hear it? So we've got to get rid of that. By the way, if you want to get rid of the ink, you can use the strop. Just reduce your angle and just go along the edges and then get your angle back. See if it worked. Oh yeah. That'll work. I went straight to 800. I didn't do 320. The blade was in better condition. Let's see if I have to do the 320. Nope. Slicey. Some oil apparently. I like these colors. Different. It'll work. I mean, I've got a lot of fishermen's. So trying different colors in that, I believe I have 2 of each of these. So changing the handles just changes them up. And let me open them up for you. Here's the Imperial. See it there. I like the green on the little snail there, but I suppose if I'm a little bit more careful next time. My hand's not as steady as they used to be. So there you go. What do you call this? Forest green? The hammer. Whoops. With this yellow. Which I kind of like, because like I said, I put things down and I can never find them again. So this is a help you find me color. And this one, the blades were in pretty good condition. They cleaned up really nice. So, whereas this guy, you probably find that this guy had been left in a wet toolbox or something like that. And a lot of pitting on it, But it cleaned up. We fixed the tip, and it'll do. It's fun projects, and I like the way it looks at the end. It's a pretty cool look, although it's not as nice as having like the cracked ice or something like that. But these will do. I mean, they are working man fishing knives, so there you go. Took a little long, but we got there. You all be safe out there, especially when you just sharpen them. You can see they sharpen very well, both of them. Even this one, the blade was pretty beat, so we just had to clean it up. Fortunately, it didn't take too much to clean it up. And don't forget, like, share, subscribe. You know the story. Pretty sure we'll be back. I could just sit here and do projects probably for the next 3 months without having to go hunting again. If you saw the last video, I blew that budget out the window. So my budget's out the window, which is just as well I have a lot of projects. So there you go. Thanks for watching. Always appreciate it. We'll see you again soon.